Hello, my friends. Welcome to me, your host, Christian Watson. So, as I always say, my friends, it is great to be with you guys here today. I genuinely mean that. And before we get into this video, it'll be a shorter one today. I just want you guys to please like, subscribe, share, do whatever you can to get this message out there. Because if you believe, like I believe, this message is dynamite and that we can change hearts and minds and cause a revelation to happen in the minds of the American consciousness, if you believe that like I do, then please, you sharing it is the greatest gift you can give to me. And so I appreciate your contributorship. I appreciate you being here in this pensive space today to tackle these very existential concepts that inform our political reality. And in speaking of political realities, I find that a lot of people tend to sculpt their political beliefs and decide their political ideologies on the basis of labels. So as I mentioned to you guys, I sometimes say myself, hey, I am a libertarian conservative. But that really doesn't tell you a lot about what I believe. It gives you a predefined box, a sort of sterile box of assumptions. And in this list of assumptions, it allows you to pick out whatever you think those two terms mean and allows you to go through and try to see if those things make sense in unison or not, or if those things make sense in accordance to what I say. So essentially, what would happen was you would probably think, okay, Christian says he's libertarian conservative. Okay, is his position right here divergent? Oh, okay. I mean, what does he think about this right here or this right here? And we tend to categorize people on the basis of labels. Now, it is very fashionable in modern-day political parlance to say labels are bad. And I don't want to say labels are bad. I think labels can be descriptive qualifiers, descriptive monikers, so to speak, that help us interact with the surface, with the first appearance, with the initial iteration of a topic. But the problem is, we take labels. A lot of Americans, a lot of people in politics in general, take labels and you extend their epistemic definitional importance beyond simply being an introduction to people's ideas that will give you a sort of light in the tunnel of their complex frameworks. You take the introduction, the labels, to mean the entirety of who they are. Why do you think that a lot of people use labels to throw around political insults? People say, well, Chuck Schumer, he's a liberal. Nancy Pelosi, she's a liberal. Donald Trump, he's a nationalist. Oh, he's a this, he's a that. He's a right-wing person. Why do you think that happens? Because we have destroyed our ability, or we have skewed our ability to use epistemic humility and the faculty of reason that we are all gifted from, and to do, as that old Ethiopian philosopher said when he was in the caves, to pursue reality in the light of reason. We have suffused and snuffed out the light because we only want to see people in light of how we think they are, in relation to their social labels, rather than in relation to the crux, the core of what they believe. That's the fundamental problem with labels. So let me give you an example. If I think people kind of bring about these labels and define these labels also through positions. So a lot of Americans will never have, or people in general will never have a core crux to what they believe. They won't have an ethos, so to speak. They'll identify their political ideologies through positions. So if someone says they're conservative, they say, I'm pro-gun, pro-life, small government, therefore, I'm conservative. Now, of course, there are plenty of people who are pro-life and pro-gun who aren't conservative. There is an ideology called Christian democracy. Christian Democrats are pretty socially conservative, but they want to order the economy similar to how communists want to order the economy. They want to be this communitarian economic force that eschews capitalism, that eschews free markets, and eschews individual choice, but they are socially conservative. This is what happens when you lack gradations and you lack degrees in your philosophy. Similarly, there are some quote-unquote liberals that actually speak very much like the conservatives on the basis of their positions. But the problem is we evaluate liberalism through a particular lens, we evaluate conservatism through a particular lens, and those lenses don't, the key problem with the dual interpretation of those lenses is that those lenses lack the specificity that an ethos, that a guiding principle bequeaths upon an ideology. So being a conservative or being a liberal is not just about being about, in the parlance of a conservative, preserving institutions, in the parlance of a liberal, revitalizing things and paying attention to the individual. Those, you have to have an ethos. You have to have an ethos. So when I say what I am, I mean I am personally conservative. But in terms of the external world, I fundamentally believe that individuals should, guided by the maxim of non-aggression, should be able to do what they seek to do in their personal lives. I don't want to do like Nick Fuentes wants to do. I don't want to have population controls. I don't want to order some people to a certain level of morality. I don't want to follow this Aristotelian idea that we exist for the state and that the state instills good character and virtue, because that's not true. That's just not true. But some people may deduce that kind of stuff if they characterize me through a label. So here's how you fix this sort of epistemic drought that we have here. Here's how you fix this. You simply need to understand what political terms mean at a fundamental level. When I say I'm a libertarian, I mean that I base all of my assumptions about the world on the axioms, the general truths, meaning the ideas of the world that constitute the world, the general truths about individual freedom, which come from a foundation of natural rights, and natural rights come from a foundation of natural law, which is the idea that there is this framework beyond me that instills inherent worth to my being. It comes from an external source, and it's just hitting the material world constantly. That is where all of my political assumptions come from. Likewise, if you're a conservative, you probably will also believe in an absolute truth. You probably also believe in a sort of divine source, but you're just going to go about it through different means. You're going to conceptualize liberty through different means. Now, you may conceptualize liberty like a libertarian, and if you are, and you say you're a conservative, I would simply say, if you want to be clear, say that you're a conservative, someone who has personal conservative values, who leans libertarian. Similarly, liberals may have a similar idea to what I'm saying, although a lot of liberals probably don't, because a lot of liberals these days are not liberals, they're progressives. Again, we have to escape from vacuous understandings, and we have to address ideas by their fundamentals. So here's my challenge to you. In the comment section, or you can email me this as well, officialcwatson@gmail.com, or you can go to my Discord server and put it in there. Tell me, what are the fundamentals of what you believe? That does not mean tell me if you're pro-gun or you're pro-life, which are important things, but those things only exist because of the fundamentals that you understand. What are the fundamentals that you believe? What are the fundamental values, justice, freedom, whatever, that you believe and that constitute your political system? Because the way we talk about labels today will not get us to a fundamental value or understanding of anything except the rat race and the despair that it brings. Let's shatter the rat race, and let's transcend our current political status to something greater. Think on it. As always, my friends, I love you, and please stay pensive. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this message, please be sure to support my channel through PayPal. My PayPal is @officialcwatson, as you see on the screen. Any amount helps. Thank you so much, and stay pensive.